What's poppin', everybody? My name is Brandon, also known as Father Clef, and people usually come to me for comic book talk, comic book movie talk, pro wrestling talk, just random pop culture, geek, video game bullshit. But today I want to talk about a little show named Limetown. Now, Limetown is an adaptation of one of my favorite podcasts of the same name, written and produced by Zach Akers and Skip Bronke. As a big podcast fan, I think I listen to upwards of about 10 to 15 different podcast episodes of different shows every week. So I'm always taking recommendations of new things to listen to. I think I listen to more podcasts now than I do actual music, which annoys my wife, but that's beside the point. I was sold on Limetown off the premise alone. I'm going to read to you the premise of Limetown because I don't want to mess up any key details. It says 10 years ago, 326 men, women, and children vanished from Limetown, a research facility in the heart of rural Tennessee. There were no witnesses, no clues, no survivors. For most of her adult life, investigative journalist Leah Haddock relentlessly sought answers to the question that no one seemed to be able to answer. What happened to the people of Limetown? Now, that sold me because I am a big thriller suspense guy. What sold me even more was listening to the first episode and hearing the production of it all. Go off the first listen of the first episode, it's very easy to think that holy shit, this really happened, because it's done in a way where it mimics different true crime podcasts, such as Serial, the podcast about Adnan Syed and the murder case in Baltimore. It's very similar to that, where it's like there's these different interviews, these different excerpts of different newscasts and stuff. It's very, 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 very well done. Friends who know me, who know that I love the podcast Limetown, also was curious of my thoughts of the first two episodes of the television show adaptation. Can you call it a television show? It's not really on TV, but it's on Facebook Watch. But I really dig what's going on in the television adaptation of Limetown. You have Jessica Biel playing the main character of Leah Haddock, and there's something that people ask me if I listen to the podcast, will the television show be ruined for me? And I would say not necessarily. For the most part, there's only 2 episodes out so far, but they seem to be following somewhat the same plot line so far, but they're diving much deeper into like character development. For instance, the character of Winona. She appears in episode 2 of the podcast as well as episode 2 of the show, but the show gives her more development where you get to feel for her character and you get to know more about her, and you end up feeling a very, very, very sorry for the woman. I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm very curious of where her character arc is gonna go, if she shows up again at all. If she shows up again at all during the course of the show, which I would hope that she does, given events that take place within the podcast. I am very impressed with the visual given to us within the show of Limetown. It looks exactly like how I've always pictured it listening to the podcast. It's like this Pleasantville, USA, American dream looking community with white picket fences, where it's gorgeous to look at, but you can't help but think there's something more sinister below the surface. I'm not sure who's responsible for putting that together visually, but bravo to you. It looks exactly like how I've always pictured it. Back to the main character of Leah Haddock. I'm really enjoying this version of Leah. On the podcast, she's more of a naive deer in headlights type of reporter, whereas I just want to find out what happened, as opposed to on the show, Jessica Biel plays her more as an aggressive, hard-nosed investigative reporter. Like, I'm going to find out what happened to these people. And it just like with the Winona character, we get to find out a lot more about Leah as a person, as opposed to her just being the main character of the story, and she's trying to find out what happened, but she has other things, clearly a lot of other things going on with her as well, and I'm really digging it. There's only 2 episodes available at the moment on Facebook Watch, but I'm really digging it so far. I believe they release episodes every Wednesday. I'm not sure if they're doing 2 episodes every week or not, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm really curious to see how much more context to things I've had questions about within the podcast itself will come out visually within the show. And I'm very excited. I definitely recommend listening to the podcast, but you should also take a look-see at the first 2 episodes of Limetown, available on Facebook Watch. My name is Brandon, also known as Father Clef. Peace.